Hey, welcome back, agents, to another episode of Prime Tips. This time we're going to be looking at Ingress banners, missions that put together make up a banner that show up in your scanner. So in your scanner, when you look at your missions, you'll see that it's 6 circles or 6 badges across, and it can go down to like 12 badges. Typically, you'll see banners that'll be 6 across, maybe 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, something like that. So we're going to be looking at something fairly new for most people. The go-to for that had been Ingress Mosaic, which I have mentioned in past podcasts. Those gentlemen gave up after 5 years of service, and we appreciate everything that they did. But if you're looking for a banner, or you want to publish your banner so that people can get out there and do it, all those missions, and get those badges in order on your scanner, that's real important. There's some things that will help you out, and one of them is Specops.quest is one that we're looking for. There's another one that's in the works right now, Bannergress. Possibly we'll be able to look at that one when it gets done, but right now we're just going to take a look at Specops.quest. So before we get too far along, one of the things that I would mention is the order in which you do things. It's real important, especially if you are a beginning agent and you're looking at your badges and you're thinking about doing a mission or 2, and you see something that's like a mission 3 of 5 or 3 of 6 probably. You probably don't want to do that mission to start with. You probably want to look at all of the missions that are in that area, and you'll probably see that it'll be like 1 of 6, 2 of 6, 3 of 6. Now, the reason for that is as you do those missions, they will appear on your scanner. And if you do it in the wrong order, so if you do 5, then 3, then 2, then 6, they're not going to show up in your scanner correctly. And the way it is right now, you can't rearrange that. So making sure that your missions look right in your scanner is a big thing for a lot of agents. So right now, mine's messed up. I think I'm off by 2. So I need to do a couple missions to get everything in rows that will match up. But if you're a beginning agent and you're looking to keep those things clean, you probably need to think about that before you start. So with that in mind, let's look at the website that you would probably be using. Here's the address, Specops.quest. So you can go there. There's a number of things that you have to have in advance if you want to create banners. But if you're simply doing banners and you want to find them, this is a great place to start. So Specops.quest, that URL again, I'll put it up there, Specops.quest, it's a little different. And then once you get there, this is probably what you're going to see. Now, this updates fairly recently right now because people are submitting banners, so I'm going to do a refresh and we'll see what we get, and you'll notice that that's a little bit different. So you'll see a lot of banners, and they're from all over the world. Up at the top left, they have resources, and then they have your profile. So under resources, they have links to IITC and the IITC plugins. If you're going to submit banners, you will need IITC and their plugins. There's links to Intel, Mission Creator, and Ingress itself. So, if I want to create a mission, I click, it opens up that, and I'm ready to log in and create a mission. But we're talking about banners, and if you want to do banners, well, then you probably need to look at where you are in the world as to what banners you're going to do. So the default is it sets it up by count. So those places that have the most banners that are submitted to Specops.quest. This is not all the banners. These are only the banners that have been submitted here. So at the present time, Netherlands has a whole bunch of them. And you'll see United States government is 578, and it goes on down. And there's 60 more countries there that are listed. So that's listing by count. You can click here and you can do it by name. So it'll put them in alphabetical order if you're looking for Canada or something. It might be easier to find it that way. But let's look at Netherlands real quick. So when I look at the Netherlands, you'll see that they have different ones that they have information on. And you'll notice that here's one that's just 3 missions. That's kind of unusual. A lot of times you're going to see something like this one near the top here, which is 6 missions in a row. So that will fill one line on your scanner. Here's one that's 6 by 2. Here's a 6 by 3. And if you get into some places, you may get to rather big ones. That'll be 6 by 6. That's a common one. All the way up to 6 by, I've seen 6 by 10. You probably could get 6 by 12 on a screen. That's a lot of missions. So let's take a look at one of them here. Let's just look at one of these little 3s. So when I click on it, you'll notice that it gives me some information about that mission. This is one that can be done in any order. So when you're looking at going through it, you could do I'm assuming that means that you could do the missions themselves within the missions, the portals that you have to hit within the missions in any order. It doesn't have to be sequential. There's 3 missions here. It's one row that tells you where it's at, the distance, which would be, if you're going to do this one, you're probably going to walk about 13 kilometers. First to last is 6.2. The average time, 2 hours, 15 minutes. That's kind of misleading, because if you have somebody that started it and didn't finish it and came back to it a couple hours later, that may throw that off. And then they have some other things like the time and the efficiency, the number of hacks and uniques. You notice that that's a little bit different, 16 and 17, and we'll see why there. And then 13 people have completed it and 90% rating, so they liked it. Now over here you'll notice that it has the individual missions that are part of that banner. And the very first one has like hack unavailable, hack, 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 hack. So what that means is that when they set up this particular mission, they had 6 waypoints. Now one of those waypoints has been taken out. Could have been an invalid portal. Could be a number of reasons why it was taken out. So that's unavailable. If you go all the way over to the right, it says reveal waypoints. When I click that, it'll tell me the actual waypoints that we have. And if I click on one of them, I can go to Intel and it'll show me on the Intel map, or I can go to Google Maps and it'll take me right there. And you'll notice that it says unavailable. So if you do that particular one, it'll go to number 1. It'll just skip you to number 3. So that gives you all the information you need about those banners. You have up here at the top a map. So that map will show you where that particular one is. It looks like you're walking around a marsh or something. So yeah, that one looks like it could be a little bit tough. It may be 2 hours to do that one. And in comments, if anybody has left any comments about that one, it would be there. So that's basically, if you're looking for one, where you would be at. Let's go back to banners. And notice we've got a few more banners that have popped up just since we've been talking. So if you want to look for one that's in your particular area, you can do a drill down. So let's say I'm looking for one that's in the United States, in Illinois, in Champaign, Illinois. That's an area that's near me. So I can click on the United States. Now, at this point, again, it's going to differ depending upon what country you're talking about. Since we're in the United States, it's going to do things by states. So here's Illinois, and here's all of the banners, again, that are listed with Specops.quest in the state of Illinois. So we'll narrow it down a little bit more. We go to Champaign County, and there's just one that's listed for Champaign County. Now, I know there's a lot of missions in Champaign, Illinois. There's only one that's listed here. So again, it's sequential, so we're going to have to probably do these hacks in order. There's 6 missions, one row, so if you're going to do these, you want to make sure that you do them in order. And it looks like Rule 06 has helped us out. He said Minuteman missile 1 of 6, 2 of 6, 3 of 6, 4 of 6. So you know that you're doing them in the right order, and they'll show up on your scanner in the right order. Again, you would probably want to make sure that, so the banner shows up in your scanner correctly, that you're starting on a new row, that you don't have like 2 on one row. You'll understand that when you kind of look at it. So 7.4 kilometers, took people about 46 minutes to do it. 37 waypoints, it's only been completed once. That one person liked it. So that's the basics for doing searches and finding those banners. Now, if, let's say, you're saying, well, there's no banners that are in my area, I would like to add a banner here. There's a couple of things you need to have before you can do that route. First of all, you have to have the missions submitted and the missions in place. So we can cover that some other time, but you'll need to make sure that those missions have been put into the mission creator and that they've been approved. The pictures all line up. We'll talk about that at another time so that you can actually create those. The other thing with this particular website is you'll need some IITC plugins. So you'll need the mission plugin, which most people have, the mission add-on plugin, and the Specops.quest plugin. And those are used to pass information from Intel to your login on Specops and build that banner with that. So you have to get all that stuff installed and get it ready. And then you also have to have a login in Specops. It's a free one. It's not hard to do. You can log in with a number of different things. We'll use Google, and there it's in pretty quick. So it doesn't look like much has changed, but now I have a Manage tab, and under Manage I can now create. So if I've created some, I have the ability to edit those banners in this system. So it doesn't matter if you're the one that created the banner missions. It's whoever has submitted it to Specops. That person can edit that listing here in Specops. Now, it pulls a lot of information that's already there, so you don't have to do a lot of the work. So I'm going to go to Create, and it gives you some information about what you need to do before you actually create one. So adding a banner requires that the data for each banner has been indexed first, a process that can be a bit cumbersome at times. It is kind of tough to go through the first time or two, so hopefully we'll be able to step through it and show you how that works. But it's similar to old Ingress Mosaic. Install and configure IITC. Install and enable the missions plugin. Install the special data gathering plugin for IITC, which will record any mission data seen by IITC in the missions in viewing dialog. That's what's kind of new. So you have to have that plugin. And actually, there's a link right there. You click, and it'll take you right to the plugin, and you install the plugin. So he's done a really good job of bringing that information in. It depends upon what you're using, and if I'm on a phone, that's going to be a little different install as opposed to Windows computer here. Browse the Intel map and locate all the mission start portals and use missions in view. We'll show you that. So you kind of have to know where this is going to be. You have to do a little research before you get started so you know what you've got. Then to fetch the missions, use the specop.quest dialog, which is just a little link that's in IITC to search for the missions. Missions in view, you can search by the name. When you first find them, there'll be a little button that is a sync button. You'll have to do that. Then once it's indexed, you'll see the green check mark. So you have to go through IITC and find all of the missions that you want to put in the banner and sync them and get them indexed, that green check mark. Once you do that, Then you go back to Specops.quest and put those things in. And it talks about some other things. So I'm going to flip over to, here we have IITC. I put it in the black mode because it's a little easier to see. I know that there is a big banner here for Eastern Illinois University. It's I think it's an 18, so it's a number of rows, 6 across. That'd be 3. So I have to first find all of those missions and put them in there. So once I get the area that I think I know where they're at, I probably want to look at missions in view and look for all the missions. So there's 5, 3, 8, and I would count down through all of them, make sure that I got all 18 of them in that view, which I'm pretty sure that I do. So I'm going to exit out of that. And then once I've got them in view and I know where they're at, Specops.quest, and here I can do a search and find them. Again, I knew the name was EIU, Old Main. I didn't have to put the whole thing in. So these are all of those missions that are in there. And what I will want to do is click there to fetch that information. So now it's going to be available on the other web page that I can put it in there. You can also put it in as a favorite so that one of the listings could be just limited to your favorites. But we're just going to try to get all 18 of them here. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lighter up. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hopefully there's 2 more. There they are. And you notice that I have another one here, EIU Panthers. That's one that I had previously. So when we go in and look at it, we'll see that one, but that's not one that I want to add to my banner. Now, the other thing that I'll mention here when you first do this is this thing called the API key. You do have to have an API key. So in this system and resources, you can find how to get that API key, and it's just a cut and paste thing, and you have to put it in. If you don't have that API key, it's all not going to work. So I've got these all in. I can close this, and now when I come back to Specops.quest next, and I can use wildcards, I can do other ways that I can find them. I'm going to say EIU, and it'll search and it'll go through. Now, again, I did get one that's not on the list, but these would not show up unless I have already gone into IITC and marked them and synced them and had the green check mark on them. So that's kind of the hard thing to get the first time through. So here we've got 20 matches, and here's that EIU Panthers. So now I want to put these in, but I probably want to put them in order. So I can check mark all of them, and I can put them all in, and I can move them around, or I can do them one at a time. So we'll put in that one, and let's find number 2. There's number 2. And that's probably the best way to do it, is to just get them all there. You can move them up and down, I think, once you've got them in. But I just find it easier just to put them in the right order. There's 3. There's 4. And you notice it's being nice. It's taking them off the list as I put them in there. 5. Where's 6? Where's 6? There's 6. 6 is followed by 7. And then 8. And again, keep in mind, I didn't have to create these missions. Somebody else created these missions. And I am pretty sure that this was listed in Ingress Mosaic. And probably a lot of people who were looking for missions to do found that information in Ingress Mosaic. Unfortunately, as I said, that website's not alive anymore. So this is one of the ways that you can go out and search for them. All right, we're getting them. We're at 13, 14. Again, I probably could do them all and then rearrange them and things, but I'm just going to be real super careful and put them in one at a time and make sure that I have them correct. Now, I don't have to use all of them on the left, but I've got them all in there. Okay. So it tells me that 18 missions. It looks like I've got them in the order I want to have them. I'll say next. And here's where I can move them up and down if I wanted to. So I could put 2 at the first, or 1 at the top. So again, you could have used them all and just plumped them all in there. And it gives you a preview of what it would look like in the scanner. So it took the idea, the row size was 6. Now you could say 5, 3, half. And if you do a 3 half, it doesn't look right because this was designed for a 6. So this is a regular one. So it gives you a preview of what it would look like on the scanner if the agent did it in the correct order. All right. There's an alphabetical sort and a smart sort. I didn't use that one. This is the one thing that you probably will want to change. So this is the listing that I'm going to be putting in Specops. And it takes the first one. So it says EIU Old Main, number 1 of 18. And then below it says the title should not include the number of or sequential information. And I actually made that mistake at the first one. So we're just going to get rid of number 1 of 18. We're just going to say EIU Old Main because that's really kind of the name of this banner. Description, it pulled that from the first one. So that's where it gets the information. If they did the right job, that description on the very first one of all the ones in the missions banners will be a description that lets you know what it is. In this particular case, it says investigating exotic matter appearing at Eastern Illinois University campus. Complete the banner showing Old Main Castle lit in red. Mission 1 of 18. So I could probably take the mission 1 of 18 out. And that is a good description for it. Again, regular row size. I can get a good view of what it looks like. I'm going to go next. It gives me a map, a preview of where this would be. I don't think that you're going to change anything here, but it does let you see kind of what it's going to look like. And then I'll hit save, and it says, are you sure you're ready to submit? Make sure you remove the sequence numbers from the title. Again, a mistake that I made. Old Main, and it shows you the description. If you're happy with it, which I am, I'll say okay. I'll save the banner, allow a moment for the image preview to be generated and refreshed. I'll close that, and I'm back. Now, while it's generating that, there's a couple other things that we have up here that I want to point out. There's a thing called bookmark. So if I bookmark a mission, when I come back later, I can see that and say, oh yeah, that's one that I wanted to do something with. You can put on your to-do list. So if you're going to a specific town and let's say that you've had 5 or 6 bookmarked ones and only 3 of them are in that town, you can put it on your to-do list. You can do completed, and I'm going to say completed because I have completed this one. So now I can review it. I think the artwork was pretty good. If I remember right, the route was a little bit tedious. It's available 24/7 by foot since it's on campus. Effortlessness. How hard is it to get out there? I'm going to give it pretty much a 5 because it's all walking. It's just you had to double back a number of times. Pass phrases, there were no pass phrases, so I don't have to say anything to it, so it was easy. Suited means of transportation. You could do this one by foot, and you could probably do it by bike. I believe this one is wheelchair friendly as well, since it's all based on sidewalks. If it's something you could do by car, you could put that there. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, I enjoyed it because I graduated from Eastern Illinois University, so that was nice. And I could put in a comment. I won't. And then I hit save. Okay. So I'm going to go back to banners. And you notice just in the time that it took us to put that in, 2 more popped up. So here's the one we put in. You'll notice it has a little green on it, which indicates that this is one that we've completed. And I'll go ahead and take the completed off. No, I'll leave it. You also have a manage button once you've got it in there. So when I go to manage, then I'm back and I can rearrange things. Or if you did like me, you put the wrong title in, you can change the title, and you can make those changes that you need to. Okay. So that's adding banners to it. So again, this is, wow, that looks like somebody's dropped into a couple more. So this is building rather quickly, as you can see. It's a great place for you to go to and to look at things that, you know, you may want to do. So you can filter them by time, distance, efficiency, all those things. So let's go in and see if this has made our list. United States, we're going to go to Illinois, and now we've got Coles County because EIU is in Coles County. So in Coles County, there it is. You know, if I'm running just around Illinois and I don't have a lot of time, you know, there's one that doesn't take very long, and there's one that takes longer. Yeah, you'll notice the one on here, just kind of what I was talking about. You notice the time on this one, and the time average is 1 day, 18 hours. It doesn't take 1 day and 18 hours to do that one. Somebody started it, left it running, and came back to it later. So, again, that's it. I'm hoping that you will get out into the field and do some banners. Maybe put a couple banners out there for us so we can all see what's going on. I hope I see you in the field sometime soon, Legions. So long.